Hello. Hey everybody. Hey everybody. Welcome to your first Polish lesson of the year. We're gonna summarize some Polish history that I went into depth a while ago. Quite a while ago. So we're going to read some papers I have here. I passed them all out, so they should be on the desk that you guys are at. It's just a very short run through of the modern era. It goes in the 20th century, but we're just going to go to like first settlements, Slavic tribes, Middle Ages, and Teutonic Knights. If we have time today, we may get to the modern age, but most likely we will not. We're going to end with the 13-year war in our summary today, okay? So, let me just make sure we have everybody today. So, from my understanding, you guys all know you came for this free adult history lesson that we provide to the community. So, we should have 9 people. So, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, we have 9. Exactly how many we're supposed to. So I appreciate that everyone came today. All right. So, my background is I grew up hearing about Polish history. I've been several times. I have family in Poland and from Poland, so it is something that I like to talk about. So because I want to get into many things. Like I have some lessons I was printed out about detail about King Jadwiga. Jadwiga, that's a woman's name. Well, that's a whole story in itself. So I wanted to kind of get more into the beginnings. Very rough summary of the beginnings of Poland. Just to kind of have something to start with. So, let us get started, okay? Because I don't think a lot of people know about Poland, honestly. Okay, so in the first settlements of Poland, I'm in the first part of the pages. So according to Slavic history, there were 3 brothers, Lech, Czech, and Rus. They had reached lands between the Vistula River and the Oder. On a hill, they saw an oak tree with an eagle's nest, and Lech decided to fix his residence there. He chose a white eagle for a shield. Czech, on the other hand, went into the south, where he founded his country, Czech Republic. And Rus went east, where he created Russia. And the white eagle is still a symbol of Poland today. The first indications of inhabitants in the region of present-day Poland are in the Krześmianki Opatowskie site. This is dated to be more than 3,500 years BC. The site is located in what is now Kielce, the Kielce region, a region known for its flint quarries. The first known city in the region dates back to the 2nd century AD. Kalisz was located in the province, where the city of Poznan is currently located. It was a very big city, and it was used as a commercial trading center on the Amber route between the Baltic and the Mediterranean seas. So that's just kind of a very rough outline of the beginning, right? And there's other stories. There's stories that he saw a white eagle, and there's more like a detailed folklore story about the white eagle. I've heard different ones. So something that someone from Poland or Czech or Russia, you can call them Slavic. That is their ethnic background. They're Slavic. So before there were kingdoms, there was Slavic tribes, especially in Poland. So it is around the 6th century AD, after the fall of the Roman Empire, when the barbarian tribes that inhabited the territories north of the border of the Imperial, they started to move south. And this migration is what causes the Slavic tribes that inhabited the region north of the Carpathians to occupy the territories that the barbarians had uninhabited to the north of what was formerly the Roman Empire. One of these tribes, the Polanos, would be, well, I've heard different ways, Polanos, Poles, would be the one established in the territory of present-day Poland, and one that gives the name to the nation. I've heard that their name also is kind of like, this tribe were kind of called like a hill people, and that's where Poland, the name also stems from. So skipping through, like I said, this is a very rough summary. Now, it took some time, some centuries, but by the time the 10th century came around, there was the first Polish sovereign, Mieszko I. He belonged to the Piast dynasty. This dynasty would reign Poland until 1370, which was then crowned by the Pope of Rome. This country became very Catholic. There's a lot of stories about Mieszko. He was pagan and he was not Christian, and he converted. There's stories that his first wife converted, it helped him convert. There's stories that he converted because it was good for the country and it was good to side with other Christian nations. So under the Piast dynasty, Poland was converted to Christianity, whose first capital of the kingdom became Gniezno. The Piast conquered territories such as Pomerania, Silesia, and Krakow. So that's kind of very brief on the Middle Ages. So by the time the 12th and 13th centuries come around, is more talk and a lot of history. Polish history kind of talks about Teutonic Knights. So during the 12th and 13th centuries, the kingdom comes up against the incursions of the Tatars, as well as the struggles against the Teutonic Knights. So as a consequence, the Piast dynasty decides to move the capital from Gniezno to Krakow. The king repopulated the territories with German settlers and sheltering a large number of Jewish people who at that time were prosecuted throughout Europe. Which, if you know anything about Poland, even in the last century, there was a lot of Jewish people settled in Poland. Some of my Jewish ancestry comes from, well, I mean, my Polish ancestry is Jewish. I guess that's how I should phrase that. If you know anything about World War II, very densely populated with Jewish people before World War II. So the urban growth and intensification of this commercial exchange, commercial exchanges favor commercial and urban growth in Poland. So thousands of cities and towns such as Poznań and Krakow became, I guess, really founded and became more of what they are, to like more of a city, a town. Like, this is a big thing on the map. Kazimierz the Great is the monarch with which the era of splendor in Poland began. So under his reign, the University of Krakow was founded in 1364, and the Wawel Castle was rebuilt. It's a beautiful castle in Krakow. If you ever are in Krakow, I recommend going to Wawel. Amongst other things, there's much smaller things you could do. So, after Kazimier's death, the kingdom will be left without a legitimate heir, since Kazimierz had no male offspring. The Polish aristocratic class joined the Kingdom of Poland with the Duchy of Lithuania at this time. Now, this gave rise to a federal state that became known as the Polish-Lithuanian Union, or the Republic of Two Nations, thus beginning the new dynasty of family of the Jagiellonians. Jagiellons is how it's spelled here, but I don't think that's right. The new state lasted 4 centuries, and in this time it would be the largest territory in Europe, ranging from the Baltic Sea to the Black Sea and occupying part of Ukraine and Belarus. This unified kingdoms fought the Teutonic Knights in the 13-year war, ending with the Battle of Grunwald. The kingdom defeated the Teutonic army, and Poland recovers the city of Gdansk at this time, and the territory of East Prussia after they signed the Treaty of Torun in 1466. So Poland was a really big, it started to become like a really big power, I would say, up until mid-1700s. They really are like, they became something that you wouldn't, unfortunately, the 17th century is their decline. But up until then, I would say that they are a force to be reckoned with. They really are. So from the 16th century, the time of prosperity begins in Poland. Once the great wars with the neighboring countries are over, the country has a thriving economy. And it's built around this very progressive bourgeoisie. I forgot how to say that. After the Lublin Union in 1569, Poland and Lithuania now have a single sovereign with the decision-making power controlled by the Parliament. And I think that's all we have time for today. We can pick up on that later. I would really like to talk about Jadwiga, Queen Jadwiga, however you want to call her, but I call her King. So, apologize for having to cut the class short. I have a very disruptive force trying to distract me. Sorry, it's bring your cat to a work day, you know. I had no one to watch him. So I really appreciate everyone coming by and listening. And I hope that you're as interested in Polish history as I am. And we just, briefly touched on some summaries, but I would love to talk more with you guys. Hope everyone has a great day, afternoon, night. Thank y'all.